Back for another brew day. This time we're going to be doing a New England IPA with no hot side additions. So in this series, this will be number 2 in what we're calling kind of brew taste style hazier, juicier. It's kind of where we try to just throw a whole bunch of hops at a NEIPA and try different kind of hopping techniques. And in this NEIPA, we're going to be doing no additions in the boil, no whirlpool, just all out 23 grams per liter in the dry hop. So I love this style, of course. I think that's pretty clear for anyone who watches this channel. And I like the oat creams. I like NEIPAs with bitterness. I like NEIPAs with no bitterness. And I've never really attempted to try to do a New England IPA with nothing at all in the boil, nothing at all in the whirlpool. And we're going to certainly do this. So you can see the beer in the background here. I don't have like the full kind of brew day videos of this. So I'm just going to talk in depth about the recipe, and then I'm going to taste the beer at the end. This will be my first beer for almost 3 weeks now. Some New Year's resolutions and everything like that. So let's jump across to Brewfather and we'll run through the recipe. Okay, so in this recipe, I wanted to play around with some hop combinations, some hops that I've really been enjoying of late, and try to kind of get them in together. So hopefully I've got it right. I haven't tasted this beer yet. Looking forward to it. So from a grain bill, very straightforward. I tried to drop the oats and the wheat. I didn't want to do anything like an oat cream or anything like that. I wanted to keep it very simple, basic kind of pale, and you can see the percentages there. Like every video, the recipe is always in the description. And because I don't have the clips of the brew day, I'll talk a little bit more at length about how the dry hopping technique and kind of how I'm using the Firmzilla. If you're using it a different way or you found different ways effective, let me know. I'm pretty happy with the aroma and the kind of the juiciness that's coming off the way that I'm dry hopping. So I'll run through that in a moment. So as I say, there's no additions in the boil or whirlpool or anything like that. It works out to be about 23 grams per liter. I'm not sure why it's not showing that here. But so what I've done with the hops, pitched a whole bunch on day 0, like at the same time as yeast. The Citra Cryo and Mosaic Cryo, I'm really enjoying that combination and those hops lately. The Experimental 10416, it's something that I've tried, and I think that'll pair quite well with Citra and Mosaic, and then Riwaka as well is one of my favorite hops at the moment, actually. And then day 7, this is like this post-fermentation dry hop I've been doing, which I'll get into in a moment, and Mosaic, Vic Secret as well, and Citra Cryo. So down to the water profile, I've used the Dayman Double IPA by Rocky Ridge water profile. I'm not sure if you can see that there, but there we go. You can see that that's the salt additions here, and then of course Verdant IPA yeast. For that one, I actually used 2 packages here, which I'll update in a moment. So I wanted to go for something a little bit more lower ABV, 6.7%. I've been drinking these kind of 8%, 9%, 10% beers, and I want to kind of wind that shit back a little bit if possible. So I'm going to go for 6.5%, and then again 65 degree mash in, 75 degrees mash out, and let's get down into this. So yeah, as I say, I don't have the brew day shots for this. So essentially, what I try to do in this fermentation is I found myself when I was kind of introducing pressure towards the end of the fermentation, I was kind of like when I was detaching the collection jar, I was letting that pressure out, and I was thinking maybe I need to try to keep all this aroma in. So as soon as fermentation was done, I introduced 2 psi into the system. The collection jar was closed up until the actual dry hop, so I had a whole bunch of hop matter at the bottom. So fermentation was done, introduced 2 psi, done that de-rest, kind of raised it to 23 degrees, let it go for 2 days there, just to kind of clean up any diacetyl or anything like that. And then I kind of opened the collection jar whilst I kind of dropped down to 15 degrees and tried to remove that hop matter, and hopefully that yeast kind of flocculated, and tried to remove as much of that yeast as possible. So by doing that at 2 psi, once I went to remove the collection jar, I closed the collection jar, and then I only had 2 psi in the collection jar. So when I took it off, it didn't kind of explode out. Then I kind of sanitized the course, put the hops in, reattached, introduced 10 psi. Like after I purged, introduced 10 psi in the actual collection jar, put 10 psi in the actual Firmzilla, switched it upside down, and then kind of dry hopped, and then closed the collection jar. So I'm hoping that kept a whole bunch of aroma in. I've not tasted this beer, but I have smelled it, and the aroma for me is fantastic. So I'm really looking forward to trying that. After it was at 15 degrees and the dry hop took place, dropped it down to 1 degree and then let it sit there for about 3 days. And because I'm working from home, I was kind of going past just trying to create a little whirlpool inside the Firmzilla to try to get that hop utilization. Now, I know for sure that there's like a drop off with hops. Especially this type of series, I want to experiment. I want to throw all these hops at it, and hopefully, I know there's a drop off, but that doesn't mean there's a cliff, right? So hopefully I get a little bit more of that aroma and a little bit more of that juiciness in there. I'm super excited to give this one a try. Oh, that's Siri talking to me saying interesting question. Wasn't a question, Siri. But let's get across to the beer. I'm really excited to give this a try. If I'm unsure about it, I might get Raphael or a couple other people in there to taste. But let's see how it tastes. Okay, so this will be my first beer for almost 3 weeks now. Let's get this on the nose. Yeah, I almost get like a marmalade-ish kind of like citrus in there as well. I mean, the amount of aromas coming off this is by far the best Nipah I've done. I think from an aroma perspective, like the amount of. That's popping. I mean, you can see from the colour behind, in the video behind. So I obviously get Citra, obviously get Mosaic, but I think these other hops are kind of coming through as well. This kind of experimental 10416, which has got a bit of pine in there as well. I think that and the Mosaic are getting that kind of a little bit more of a, not just like a citrus kind of aroma. Big Secret, Rawaka. Oh mate, that is fantastic. I'm frothing again to give this a taste. So cheers everybody. Yeah, so no bitter. I mean, there's a little bit of bitterness in the back, but no initial kind of hit of bitterness. I get a little bit of like a dankiness, I guess, from the Mosaic, but that is very, very drinkable, very smashable. I love that it's a little bit low ABV as well. No trace of that for me. Oh, I love this. I think this is fantastic. This is kind of what I was going for. I don't miss the kind of whirlpools or any kind of boiled dishes. I like that it's got almost. I mean, there is bitterness there from the dry hop and a little bit of dankiness there, but this is fantastic for me. I'm very, very happy with this beer. If I can get a hold of Raphael, I want to get this content out. So if I get a hold of Raphael over the next day or two, I'll try to get him to come and do a review as well. If not, that'll be the end. Thank you very much for watching. If this is your first time watching this video or you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. We're trying to build the channel. We've been a little bit quiet over the past couple of weeks, but we've got a few more things coming out. We've got a sour beer that Raphael's just kegged a couple of days ago. We'll be doing that on Monday. We'll be kind of adding some lactic acid and trying to getting it down to like the pH that we like. And then also I'm kind of doing like a beer and fitness for anyone interested. It's like a 12 weeks over 12 kilos over 12 weeks. Cause got a bit porky during coronavirus. So keep an eye out for that. We're also doing some beer reviews going forward. I think this beer is fantastic. If you haven't done a Nipah that with no kind of hot side additions, give it a try. I think it's fantastic. I'll be enjoying the rest of this. Thank you very much for watching. Until the next beer related video. Cheers.